Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the red subscribe button.
Guys, today we are going to talk about the Shanghai film in 4x5 format. I remember I first started shooting in 4x5 about 10 years ago, and my first box of film was actually the Ilford FP4. I was quite happy with the film, but I was even happier when I find that I can get this box of Shanghai 4x5 from eBay for about half the price of the Ilford FP4. And I remember that the seller was actually based in Taiwan. So 10 years later, now I can easily get the same film for about $16 from the China mega marketplace site, the Taobao.com. Whereas the same box of Ilford FP4 25 sheet costs about $50 from sites like B&H. Price aside, how is the quality of this film? So today I will shoot a few pieces of this film and then process them as negative, and I also process them as positive. So do watch to the end of this video and look at the result, and then let me know what you think of them. And will you use this film for your 4x5 shooting? Let me know. Follow me. Okay, so how does the Shanghai film packaging look like? It came in a simple box, right? And here's a label here where it specified the size. This is 4x5. There are also other sizes like 5.7, 8.10 or even ultra large format size. There are 25 sheets in this box. Previously it is only available in 25, but now I see the listing on Taobao. They also offer box that contain 50 sheets or 100 sheets. And this is the expiry date. So I bought this a few months ago, so I will say that it probably about a year to expiry. And of course it will depend on when you buy the film, right? Is it just happen that you get a box that is just manufactured, or are you getting a box that has been sitting in the warehouse for a few months? The other information, this is a company that's supposedly that brought over the old Shanghai film factory. So this is called JianCheng, right? Okay. So this is still an unfinished box. So there's some film inside. So I will not open it. Okay. So this is the box that I finished. I mark it as blank. So just to let you see. How is it packaged? Unlike boxes from Fujifilm or Ilford, where they have 3 boxes, but this has only 2, so you don't see a third box here that better protect the film. Right, so this open up like that. There's an instruction sheet inside in Chinese where they give you some recipe for developer and fixer. Right, and unfortunately I can't show you the actual packaging, but it will have a brown first layer of envelope that contain the film, and the film will actually be in another black envelope. So the brown envelope is sealed, so you just need to open up the brown envelope and then you will access the film in the black envelope itself. So it's pretty light proof, right? And these are the interleaf paper that they put in between the sheet of film. That sort of better protect the film, especially if it's stored for a long time. Some film tends to stick together, especially in our more tropical weather where the temperature is usually about almost 30 degrees every day. It may cause the film to stick together. So this one is actually quite nice compared to boxes of film from, like say, Fomapan, where there's no interleaf paper between the sheets. Right? Loaded the film into 2 film holders, a total of 4 pieces of film. Right? So how I usually mark up my film holder is to mark A on one side and B on the other. So what I'm planning to do is to expose as negative at ISO 100 for side A, and then side B I will expose it at ISO 50 and process them as positive. Right, the reason I'm doing that is because exposing for negative and positive, usually there's a difference in the rating for in terms of ISO for this Shanghai film. For a simple still life shot, some eggs and some mushroom, right? I usually like to use what I can find in my kitchen for still life shot so that I can quickly set them up and take some shots. So for metering, I'm going to use my light meter and do an incident reading. So it's reading f13 at ISO 100 and the shutter speed is 1/13. I decided to use f16 1/10 just for the deeper depth of field. Okay, I loaded the two pieces of Shanghai 45 film into this orbital processor. If you'd like to know more about this processor, you can click on the link on the top right hand corner where I did show and explain more about this processor in one of my previous video. So this can take up to 4 sheets, but I've loaded 2 here where I'm going to process them as negative. So in terms of the chemical, I have the developer here. This is Kodak HC110 developer mixed at dilution B, 1 plus 32. I just have 250 ml of it. And also the fixer. This is the Ilford Rapid fixer. Of course, after the developing, we will have the water bath. Okay, I use the water bath as my stop bath before we fix the film. Process the film for 7 minutes, constant agitation using HC110 dilution B at 20 degrees C. If you are not so sure, you can check out online digitaltruth.com. They have some timing for Shanghai film for the various developer. Otherwise, I read somewhere that you can follow the timing for by using the Ilford FP4 timing. It should be a good start, and from there you can further fine-tune. To pour in the developer and start the timer for 7 minutes. So this is constant agitation. This will make sure that the developer can cover every piece of film in this processor. So I will see you at the end of the 7 minutes. Okay, so 7 minutes is up. What I'll do is I will pour out the developer. and pour in the water bath that acts as a stop bath and agitate it. Okay, so for stop bath, I don't really have a timing, maybe 30 seconds or so, and then we can pour out the water. And this is our rapid fixer. For rapid fixer, I will fix for 4 minutes. So let's go. Okay, 4 minutes of fixing is up. So I'm going to pour out the fixer and then pour in some water for initial wash. And then we can open up the processor to see the result. Open up the processor. You can take a look at the result of the first shot that we took, the egg and the mushroom. And the result of the second shots, just the egg. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to do the Shanghai 4x5 black and white slide processing. That means I'm going to process it as a positive. So this is using the set of chemical that I mix from scratch. I have do some fine tuning to all this recipe, and I actually offer black and white processing as a service also in Singapore. So we have the developer, the bleach, and then also the clearing bath. So there's quite a few steps, and I will try to take you through. Okay, so again I loaded the 2 pieces of film that I exposed as at ISO 50 with the intention to process them as black and white slides. So they are inside. So I'm going to give this film a pre-wash first. Okay, so just some water, and then I will probably give it like a 1 minute wash. So this is the water that came out from the pre-wash. Slightly purple in color for this Shanghai 4x5 film. So now is the developing. So I pour in the developer. For this, I will process it for 7.5 minutes with continuous agitation. So this timing is based on my test that I've tested previously using my own mix of developer and my whole developing process. Like if you are using like HC110 or any other developer, you have to do your own testing to see what's the best time that you should use for Shanghai 4x5 film. For my process, I know I have to overexpose it by 1 stop, which is why I rate it at ISO 50. And my processing time using this tank is 7.5 minutes. Okay, so 7.5 minutes is up. So what we'll do is that we will pour out the developer. For my process, I will reuse this developer for my second developing stage. Okay. So quickly pour in some water so that it will stop the developing process. My developer is actually very fast acting, so there's a possibility of unevenness developing if you hesitate to pour in the developer, or you are slow in pouring in the water to do the stop bath. Right. So now we are ready for the bleach. So this will be for 5 minutes. So the purpose of the bleach is to bleach away any silver that are already developed at the first developing stage, leaving a layer of unexposed silver, which we will expose at the second exposure. and then we will further develop it a second time so that a positive image will form. So you can see that I'm wearing my gloves because some of the chemical used in this positive processing can be quite toxic. So to make sure that you know what you are dealing with and wear the necessary personal protective equipment such as. Okay, so now the bleaching process is completed, so I'll pour out the bleach. And I'll again quickly pour in some water to wash the bleach. I would say firstly to stop the bleaching process, secondly is to get rid of the bleach that is still on the film. Same thing for bleaching, I will actually do 2 rinses. If you are able to do it with continuously running water, that will even be better. So let's pour out the first round. You can see that it's a bit yellowish. Still some residue bleach in the film itself. So I pour in the second time. And after this stage will be the clearing stage, where we'll pour in the clearing bath to further clear away the bleach itself. Next is the clearing bath. Right. This one we will pour it in and agitate for 2 minutes, and then we'll pour it out. The clearing bath can be reused, so after you pour out, you can actually keep it and use it a few more times. In certain cases, you can actually clear this. In certain cases, you can actually skip the clearing bath. In fact, some kits also do not provide this chemical at all. What you need to do is to give it a few more wash, but it may retain some of the. Okay, if you are still watching and you find that this black and white processing process to be too complex, too complicated, too time consuming, you can always send it to me for processing. I process 35mm, 120 and 4x5 film. Do visit my Facebook page, BW Reversal Processing. I'll put the link in the video description. There is a list of film that I have tested, and I have noted down the ISO that you should use. Okay. So the clearing up and take a look at the first stage of the processing. Okay, there is the re-exposure to light. Okay. So, not sure you can see, but there's a fade positive image, right? And at the same time, we can expose it to light. Okay, just hold it up and re-expose it to light for like 30 seconds on both sides. Okay, we have done the second re-exposure that will expose any unexposed silver in the film to light, and then we can do the second developing process. I am using back the developer from the first stage, so this time we will only develop it for 4 minutes, right? And for this stage you can do it in daylight because there's nothing else unexposed. So what I would like to do is to keep pour it in and then turn the tray fast so that all area will get in contact with the developer straight away. Okay. And very soon you should see a black and white image being formed. And we are doing, you can see the positive image appearing. I'm going to let it continue to develop. Okay, the developing for the second stage is done, so I'm going to pour out the developer. Same thing, pour in some water to stop the developing process and give it a good wash. The last stage of this process is to pour in the, so I will pour in the fixer, and this is also for 4 minutes. Okay, so the fixing is done, so I'll pour out the fixer. For fixer, we can also reuse it a few times. And then we'll pour in some water. Right. And then we'll take it through our final washing. And I probably have to show you the result on the light box.
Thank you for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the photos that I have taken using the Shanghai film. Let me know what you think of this film in the comment section below. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next video.
Hi guys, welcome to the end of this video. Please like it, share it, and then finally do subscribe to my channel. I see you at my next video. Take care and bye.